In the heart of a dark, dreary city alley, two orphaned kittens, Tom and Mia, cling to each other for survival. Life is tough. Can you imagine the despair of rummaging through stinking trash cans day after day? Their tiny paws rummage through the trash, hoping to find scraps. Their only comfort the rare kindness of a passing stranger. Will we ever be free of this misery? Tom often wonders aloud, his voice a weak meow over the roar of the city. Together, they face the cold, the hunger, the endless struggle, until one afternoon that changes everything. The market bustles with activity as Tom and Mia search for food, the air filled with enticing scents. Suddenly, boom, a loud crash rings out. What is that? A cart careening down a hill? A vendor screaming? Mia, eyes wide and trembling, rushed into the chaos. Mia, no. Come back, Tom howled, but she disappeared into the crowd. Panic surged through him. Where could she be? He ran after her, weaving through legs and stalls, his heart pounding. Hours later, exhausted and alone, he collapsed beside some crates, clutching his tattered, patched sack. Then, wait, what was that? A strange, bright light flickered nearby. Curiosity flared in his tired eyes, but sleep overcame him. As he drifted off to sleep, oh, what a dream! Tom soared above a glowing city in the clouds. Can you picture it? An old, wise, magical starry cat appeared. Can you help me find Mia? Tom begged, his voice trembling with hope. The cat's eyes sparkled. Follow the light, little one, he growled. Tom woke with a start, the words echoing in his mind. That light, it's real, he gasped, determination burning within him. With the tattered sack in hand, he vowed to find Mia, no matter what wonders or dangers lay ahead. In the depths of the city's grimy slums, where hope seemed to drown in the muck, Tom roamed with a heavy heart. Can you picture the despair clinging to every corner? The streets reeked of rot, and the dim glow of busted streetlights barely pierced the gloom. It was in this forsaken alley that Tom's life changed. He met Whiskers, a grizzled old cat with silver-gray fur that shimmered faintly, like a faded memory of better days. Tucked away in a shadowy nook, Whiskers exuded a quiet wisdom that cut through the chaos. Hey, kid, he growled softly, his voice rough but warm. What's up you prowling these wretched streets? Tom's chest tightened as the words spilled out, raw and desperate. My sister, Mia, she's gone. We were digging through trash at the market when something spooked her. I've looked everywhere, but she's vanished. His voice cracked, teetering between panic and resolve. Whiskers tilted his head, his wise old eyes narrowing. The luxurious streets, he mused almost to himself. A dazzling maze of wealth and peril. I bet my last Whisker Mia bolted there in her fright, trapped, maybe in all that glitz. But watch yourself, Tom. Those fancy cats don't mess around. They'll claw you to bits if you step on their turf. Then, with a slow, deliberate move, Whiskers pulled out a tattered old map from under his ragged coat. Its edges were worn, its lines blurry, but it felt like gold in Tom's trembling paws. This'll lead you to those streets, Whiskers said, his tone firm yet kind. Life's kicked you around plenty, but don't give up now. You got grit, use it. Clutching that fragile map like a lifeline, Tom took off, his pulse racing with a wild mix of dread and hope. Could this really bring him to Mia? Every step pulled him away from the dark, familiar alleys, and thrust him toward a world he'd never known. The slums faded behind him as the map guided Tom to a stunning new reality. Narrow, filthy paths opened into wide, bustling streets where cars honked and lights dazzled. Towering buildings loomed overhead, and the air carried hints of perfume instead of decay. What a shock to the senses. Compared to the dank hole where he and Mia were born, this was another planet. Exhausted from days of scavenging, his legs shook, but Tom pressed on. That map was his compass, his promise. He'd brave anything to save his little sister. Then, amid the gleam of those posh streets, danger slunk into view. Shadow, a sleek black cat with eyes that burned like embers, blocked Tom's path. Well, what's this? Shadow purred, his voice dripping with menace. A scruffy little stray, lost in my kingdom. Looking for someone, are ya? Tom's gut screamed caution, but he couldn't hold back. My sister, Mia. Do you know where she is? Shadow's grin widened, sharp and sly. Oh, Mia? Yeah, I've seen her. Trouble is, she's been snatched up. Want to see her again? You'll owe me a favor, Runt. Tom's heart plummeted. A favor? What could he even give? Hunger and fear gnawed at him, dragging up memories of cold, starving nights. But something snapped inside him. Wait, why trust this creep? No way, Tom thought, his mind racing. This stinks of a lie. Steeling himself, he glared at Shadow. You're full of it. I'll find her myself. Shadow hissed, lunging forward with a snarl. You'll regret that, pest. But Tom was quick. Darting past, he wove through tight gaps, fueled by a fire that refused to flicker out. And then, there she was. Tom froze as he spotted Mia, her gray-white fur dulled by misery, twirling tricks for a gawking crowd. Shadow loomed close, his stare cold and greedy. So that's his racket, Tom realized. Mia's a prisoner, performing for scraps. Fury surged, but he held it in check. Brains over brawn, right? Hiding in the shadows, he waited. Shadow strutted off to collect his loot, and Tom seized the moment. Mia, it's me, he whispered fiercely. Her eyes lit up, a spark of joy amid the gloom. Tom, she gasped. Together, they bolted, vanishing into the night before Shadow could blink. In a quiet hideaway, they collapsed, panting. I was terrified. Mia whimpered, pressing close. Shadow said he'd hurt you if I stopped. Tom hugged her tight, his voice thick. Never again, Mia. I've got you now, always. As dawn crept in, that old map still burned in his mind. More trials awaited, sure, but with Mia beside him, Tom felt unstoppable. We'll make it, he vowed softly. There's a home for us out there somewhere. With the sunrise, they stepped forward, hearts high. What lay ahead? Who cared? As long as they faced it together.